Hey everybody, this is Dr. Maples. Welcome back to 5 Minute Sociology. Today we're going to talk about the 3 categories of status: ascribed status, achieved status, and master status. I'll give you some background on where these ideas come from, as well as define them. I'm going to give you some clear examples that you can use in your classwork, and I'm also going to take a moment to explain why these ideas are important to sociologists. We got a lot to do today, so what do you say we get started? Now, just as a reminder, social status is one's position or place in society. And we think about how status shapes what others expect from us, what they think of us, and even how they might treat us. But we can also understand that there's different kinds of status. For example, being a professor feels a little bit different than, say, being male or being a particular race. As such, we have 3 categories of social status that we want to talk about today. So let's talk first about achieved status. An achieved status is something that you choose to take on as a status. You actually do work or you do behaviors that cause you to have that status given to you. In this situation, we can always think about a college degree as a great example of an achieved status. You're going to go work through that degree, you're going to watch all of Dr. Maples' videos and subscribe to his channel, you're going to learn lots, but you're going to get to that graduation stage and be given some letters that you put at the end of your name, much as I put PhD at the end of mine. That's an achieved status. You've earned that one. But contrast that and compare that to an ascribed status, something that's given to you, something that you didn't even ask for. It's just put upon you as something that can define how others see you. For example, the moment that you're born, your sex and your race are things that are immediately defined for you, and you didn't have any say in that. Same thing goes for your socioeconomic status and your cultural background. You don't have a choice in that. That's pretty much defined by your parents. As such, we can think of these as ascribed statuses, things that you didn't choose to have, but that were pushed upon you and nonetheless can still shape how others see you. So let's give some personal examples of these. Let's start with achieved status. Now, many of you know that I got my PhD from the University of Tennessee. Go Vols. Next time you're at a graduation ceremony, look at your professor's gowns, and if you see this bright orange color, they are someone who also graduated from the University of Tennessee with either their master's degree or their PhD. Now, this took me 10 years of my life and a lot of stress on my heart and body. It was a hard road, and for those of you thinking about getting a PhD, let me tell you, it's a lot of work, and it changes who you are as a person. Nonetheless, it's easily one of my biggest achieved statuses because I went out and chose to be a PhD. It wasn't given to me. It wasn't just something that happened to me. I had to choose to do the work to do that. But let's contrast that to ascribed statuses. For example, one of my ascribed statuses is that I'm a first-generation college student. That means that I'm the first person in my immediate family to go get a college degree. And for me, this was a very stressful thing because for all of my undergraduate and a big chunk of my graduate degree, I didn't really have anyone that I could ask for advice or ask questions. I kind of had to figure these things out on my own. In fact, that's a big reason that I do this YouTube channel today. It's to help other college students have an easier time in college than I did as a first-generation student. Now, when we think about master statuses, which can be ascribed or achieved statuses that overarch everything else, both of these examples could actually be master statuses for me. On one hand, that PhD matters. People treat me differently when they find out that I have a PhD, right down to even calling me Dr. Maples when I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. That's fine. But sometimes when I'm in academic circles and people know I'm a first-gen student, which is something that I proclaim very proudly and it's a big part of my identity, I sometimes feel like the faculty treat me differently. I've even seen that in my own university where people who had professors for parents and grandparents and have a long history of being in the academy, I kind of feel like I get isolated and cut out from some of those experiences simply because I'm a first-gen student and I'm not really part of their world. Now, this is me whining about something that's a very small deal because we could also understand how lots of other ascribed statuses could be far more impactful than this. But this is one personal example of where 2 of my statuses, one achieved, one ascribed, both could be examples of master statuses for who I am as Dr. Maples. Achieved, ascribed, and master statuses are valuable in sociology because they help us understand how so much of our status is socially constructed. Moreover, it gives us an opportunity to think about things like power and hierarchy and prestige, and how something as simple as a master status can prevent us accessing those ideas or give us the keys to the kingdom. Now, that's all for today. If there's a video you'd like me to do in the future, leave it in the comments below. And did I mention go UT Vols? All right, we'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Take care.